Hello, everyone. We are from Ukraine, and today we are with Czech community. And Anna.
Yeah, hi everyone, Kiev UX Meetups here, and today's session is going to be in English because we are going internationally, and today we're hosting Czech community, and I'm very proud to give a word our colleagues from Prague and to let them introduce themselves. And I'm going to start with Anna.
Hello everybody. My name is Anna Dumont. I am from the Ministry of Labor and Social Affairs. I work there as a director of Labor Market Integration Department. So we deal basically with labor, access to the labor market, and I'm here today to speak briefly about your possible access into the labor market in Czechia.
Who is next? Maybe Bob?
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Marvan. I'm working as Discovery Manager in Avast. However, today I'm here mostly because I'm chairman of Czech UX Association.
Thank you, Bob. Jiří? I tried your name.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I don't know.
Hi, my name is Jiří. I'm designer in Atacama, based in Prague, and today I'm here as a member of Czech UX Association to introduce you Czech as much as we can.
Thank you. And we also have Alexei, who is a designer from Ukraine, who moved to Prague like a couple of years ago, and he's also going to speak today about himself first.
Ну, по-перше, слава Україні. Привіт, я Олексій. Hi, I'm Alexei, and yeah, I'm here to answer your questions, but I'm probably the least useful person. Thanks.
Okay, and so now we're gonna start the presentation, and who is going first?
I am, I guess.
Okay.
So if you might put my presentation on.
Yeah, give me a second. I'm working on it. Share screen this one. Yeah. So here we go.
Here we go. Well, thank you. I am here to briefly introduce you the overall view of our doing, what we did so far, or what we have done so far for Ukrainians who fled the invasion. I'm very happy to be in such an interesting community. So please, after my slide, I have only one slide. If you want to ask any questions, please feel free to ask me just after, because unfortunately I cannot be here with you the whole time. So I will disconnect after possible answering your questions. So as I said before, I work at the Ministry of Labor, which means we take care of labor, basically, surprisingly. Czech Republic for now issued around 300,000, maybe now it's a little bit more, of visas for refugees from Ukraine, which means that all of those people who come and register properly, I will speak about it a little bit later. All of those people have free access into the labor market, which means that there are no restrictions at whatsoever in Czechia for you to start to work. What is very significant thing about this immigration or refugee crisis is, which is quite obvious, that there are about 80% of coming people, women. So it's quite feminized migration. which has a lot of impact into the possibilities of Czech labor market in the matter of taking care of children, childcare as such, the high number of kids who are about 50% of all numbers. So we are now into especially finding places at schools and kindergartens and nurseries. And we've been dealing with accepting Ukrainian women and men, possibly sometimes, to work as teachers for those Ukrainian children. As I said, the free access into the labor market was managed by so-called Lex Ukraine, which is a package of law connecting the European law into the Czech system. And a part of this free access into the labor market, we also have connected services, which means especially retraining or upskilling or reskilling at the labor office of the Czech Republic for free for candidates who want to have such services. Also other tools, for instance, and the most important one is the courses of Czech language, which we provide for free as a state, either from Ministry of Interior or within labor offices, which is now being concluded. We are looking for enough money to have budget to provide Czech language to everybody who tend to stay in Czech Republic, and we are very happy if people stay employed and stay in the Czech Republic, because I don't know if you know or how largely I can speak about it, but we have a lot of labor shortages within Czech Republic. So our unemployment rate is about 3%, which is one of the lowest, or maybe still the lowest in the EU, which means that we need almost any type of worker in the Czech Republic. So basically to say you would be welcome, and maybe now there is a time if you have any questions, please feel free to ask anything. I would try to answer.
Anna, thank you very much for such a nice and welcoming words for Ukrainians that are fleeing out of the war. I want to ask you, because I think that is something what might be interesting for our audience. How big is the tech market? When I'm saying tech, I mean IT companies, like startups, like everything what is related.
It is quite interesting and developing sector. We have a lot of shortages. One of the biggest shortages actually is in IT sector. We employ people from all around the world, from India, from Romania, from Ukraine, also from other countries. The sector is growing. I'm not capable of saying what exact percentage of the market is IT sector. But what I can tell is that it's quite geographically determined. One of the biggest community is in Brno, which is the second biggest city in the Czech Republic. I just was there a few days ago. They have a very interesting international community. They have very interesting NGO, which called Brno Expat Center, where all the highly qualified people meet often and they share their experiences. So there are a lot of events And of course, Prague, which is the capital. We have also in Prague a lot of interesting communities and expat centers. Prague City Hall also opened recently an expat center. They learned from Brno actually how to put the community together and how we can build the community on the regional level. So me as a central government, we are quite far from the terrain, but we have a very interesting IT sector and community in especially those two cities. Maybe other colleagues might add another towns or cities, but I think those two are significant.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. There is one more question from our chat. People are curious, is there a possibility to get paid while working in Czech Republic on Ukrainian's entrepreneur account? Or is there a need to get some extra permit? And what is the tax rate in IT?
Okay, the first question means, if I understand well, basically if you can have one job in Czechia and you can do work from Ukraine, is that right? No. Two jobs in the Czech Republic?
No, the thing is that it's like very local for Ukraine, that a lot of like professionals from IT sector, they are not like employed directly, but they are employed by a contract through the private entrepreneurship like business. And so the thing is that if it's possible to work and live in Czechia and get paid on this Ukrainian private entrepreneurship account.
Well, if you want to stay as under such business contract in Ukraine and you want to work by distance, let's say from Prague or from Czechia in general, of course it is possible. You just don't pay taxes in the Czech Republic, or if you stay here and you decide to tax, this is a matter of Ministry of Finance, but for sure accountants might advise you directly where to tax actually. It is of course possible legally to stay in the Czech Republic and to work on distance through some contracts in Ukraine, of course. This is possible because the stay you are covered with is the visa for refugees. Actually, it's called temporary stay, under temporary protection of the European Union, which means it's not connected to job offer in Czech Republic, and you are not obliged, of course, to work in Czechia, neither be without employment. So you can choose what is the best for you. And the second question?
So maybe a little bit of details on that topic, just I'm sorry. Isn't it a double taxation if you are working for the Czech company and receiving the money on your Ukrainian bank account?
The thing with taxation, I know a little bit within European Union. Normally you have one place to tax. You have only one country. So I guess it will be the same with Ukraine. I'm almost sure, and as I said, it's better to verify with accountants, maybe of the company you are close to, or with even your Ukrainian company. But I think mostly sure that you tax, well, if you work in the Czech Republic and you work for Ukrainian company, you shall tax in one country, and after some months of stay you decide where to tax. But those countries have usually some agreements with each other. Within European Union, it is obvious, it's under European law, but with third countries such Ukraine, I guess there are such agreements too. But I'm afraid I won't be able to say it concretely because the taxation is not my field of expertise.
Well, you already answered a lot. Thank you.
If there will be similar questions like these, like very like specialized, I guess we can maybe try to answer them even after the meetup. So
Okay.
Yeah.
There was some other question, the second one. I forgot.
There was the second question. What are the taxes in Czechia?
Okay, it depends. As we said before, if you are contracted in Ukraine, you don't pay taxes in the Czech Republic. If you are employed or self-employed in the Czech Republic, it depends. If you are employed, taxes are paid on both sides, from the side of your employer and of your side. From your salary monthly, it is taken directly through your employer. You also pay social security taxes, let's say, and healthcare. If you are self-employed, you pay yourself monthly. Either there is a minimum amount you have to pay for social security and for healthcare. By now, all the refugees recognized with the temporary protection have healthcare paid by the state, but it will probably change in few months. It's going to be 180 days, I think. There is a change of the law. So if you are employed or self-employed, you're gonna have to, in several months coming, have to pay the healthcare for yourself. For your idea, the social taxes are about 2,600 crowns, which is about 100 something euros per month, and healthcare is quite the same. And I don't want to go into details, but if you are self-employed under a business license, which you can have, you can enter this sector also in the Czech Republic. You can have business license, and you can contract, well, you can get paid through invoices and contracts to companies, if not employed, I mean. So in the end of the year, you do your taxes yourself and you pay taxes, but this differs it depends on how much you earn. It is about, let's say, 15%, but if you, and maybe again, it would need to go into the details from other experts, but if you earn something less than 500,000 crowns per year until 1 million crowns per year, the taxes are not, it is almost zero. I mean, the only significant money is the social care and the health care, which means that you don't pay a lot of taxes if you are under the business contract. If you are employed, it is taken, I mean, automatically per month from your salary. And altogether, the taxation of employed person with the social and healthcare is about 30%.
Thank you so much for quite a good explanation on specifics of Czech law about taxation. So long story short, there are possibilities to work from Ukraine. I mean, with Ukrainian contract for Czech Republic, there is a possibility to work as a private entrepreneur in Czech Republic, and there is a possibility to work as an employed person in Czechia.
Exactly.
And these days, due to the invasion, due to the war, there is a possibility to get job faster before, like to get the visa issue out of the way and start working.
Sorry.
In the other words, we just made the condition pretty much the same as for Czech attendees, for Czech people, for Czech workers. So conditions are pretty much the same if you will pass the registration, which is like quite simple.
Mm-hmm.
That's I wanted to stress that you have to go through so-called KACPU, the regional centers of registration, where you get your visa, you get the healthcare card, and you get there a bank account where directly you can ask for some social care, which is 5,000 crowns per month per person, which goes directly to you through the new account.
Good. Thank you so much.
Just to add to the taxes, there will be one slide about it in Bob's presentation with real examples. So it will be maybe more clear in the further slides.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
So let's jump to that, right? And Anna, thank you again for joining us today and for explaining how the laws works nowadays in Czechia and how much this country opened for Ukrainians. And we're very thankful for that.
Thank you very much. I was able to join you. It was a pleasure. And maybe if in the end there are some contacts, feel free. I will add my contact to our chat with others who are here. So you can write me an email if you have some further questions. So goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I think it's Bob, is your time.
Okay, so thank you to reactivate my presentation. So as we were speaking about Czech Republic and Anna mentioned a couple cities, it's good to get oriented a little bit. So we will be mostly talking about Praha, which is our capital, and then the Brno, which is located here on southeast part of our republic. Give me a second, I will point it out this way. So Praha and Brno. Brno is the second biggest city. Nice as well. So some of you probably know Praha. This is this famous view. This is our city center. However, the Brno is beautiful as well. And what I have to say that really based on our numbers, which we have, most of the designers and UX researchers and other roles are really located in those two cities. Yeah, basically the career of most people as they get better in their job, they are usually moving themselves from other smaller cities into those two big cities. Yeah. So that's only for initial orientation. So many greetings from Czech Republic. By the way, I'm sitting in Prague, or some part of my company, which is Avast, the online security company, is exactly in the Brno as well. So like it's this kind of distribution. And what I said at the very beginning, I'm here not because of Avast, but mostly because of UX Association, which is basically our NGO, which is somehow supporting the Czech UX scene. Actually, we are not doing all the stuff here. We are trying to play the very supportive role for the community activities. So here we got a couple of links to our old web, very old web, a couple social networks, YouTube channel, where are some recordings of our events where some of them are in English. And I have to say that the most important link is the last one, which goes to meetup.com, where we get an account where we usually open the meetups when some of those are in English. Not all of them, because basically some topics are too specific for or like to not exactly specific, but addressed to the Czech market. However, we are trying to get better in this and be inclusive, and basically we are slowly but switching into English through those events. What if I may mention 1, 2, 3 ordinary of those. The biggest one is UX Monday, which is happening every first Monday each month, where approximately something between 50 and 100 people attending. Of course, that we were hit by COVID, so now we are just finishing in some kind of hybrid mode, where some people are sitting somewhere offline, and we are streaming the session on YouTube as well. However, what we plan to do, at least through the summer, we'd like to go offline again and spread the recordings. Then other examples like these are like UX writers for copywriters working on UI, etc. Or Research Tuesdays, and the Brno guys got UX dinners, and so on and so on. So like if you join the meetup, our meetup, you can join some community activities this way. However, now big surprise, there is one bigger thing than our UX association, and that's the really UX communities like ux.cz. This is really above all, it's one big Slack for all the people in Czech Republic around the UX, not only professionals, but students, etc. And this is really run by the community. And one important thing why I'm mentioning this, that of course that you are welcome to join us there. But what's important, there is a jobs channel where you can ask for offers, or basically offer your CV, or like there are other people announcing that they are hiring, etc. And so for this, you definitely don't need to be a member of our association or anything. You simply can later on click on the link and join the Slack, and basically became an instant member of this big community. This was like my opening, and now I'd like to give you a little bit deeper overview about our market, as we did some kind of research on ourselves last summer. So of course you can extrapolate it a little bit from last summer to this year on one side. On the other hand, these numbers are already hit by COVID, at least partially, so it should be pretty accurate. What maybe doesn't like match is are the salaries because of inflation, but like I can talk about it later on, because what I like to share mostly here are some let's say trends around. The thing is that you can access some of the data, because like the report is much bigger than what we are like, let's say, showing now publicly. But most important and most interesting data you can find on that URL, humansofux.com/dashboard. There are as well numbers from Czech Market too. And if I can highlight, and we did this on, you can see the numbers: 400 people in Czech Republic, 185 in Slovakia. And when I can highlight something, then what's good to know is that Czech market is slowly getting mature. So we are shifting from, let's say, 2-3 years of experience towards those 5, 6, 7 years of experience. In that column on the right side, there are a couple of managers, of course, as well, etc. But basically, the market is getting older. That's one message. What changed since the last research which we did 2017, and I think that this is caused by COVID, that the change is that less professionals are freelancers and have their own company. There is a shift more towards like full-time employee regime. And of course, there are still some freelancers, but the shift is towards the employment. And with this is related as well this chart where more of these employees are working in company setting, not in agencies or startups. So again, the shift towards the companies. Now the important thing is the salary distribution. Again, like warning, these are numbers from last summer, so you have to little bit extrapolate it by some inflation. However, those two peaks which I highlight are around 2,000 euro per month and 3,250 euros. Of course, the very far right column, again, those are our directors, managers, etc. Like if you are, let's say, ordinary employee, you will be somewhere here. And one more thing, it's of course related to your years of experience. So we got this bubble chart here where you can see that the 2,000 euros per month are approximately for the people which are in the field for, let's say, 3 to 5 years. Then those more experienced guys who are in the field for 7+ years in ordinary roles, they are approximately above the 3,000. And then the managers, directors, etc., they create this big bubble on top. Again, numbers from last summer, but it shouldn't be so big shift. I think that you can simply add something like 10% to it, and you will be there. What's more important message here is really the strong relation to your seniority. Any questions so far? Like, is it clear this way?
So this
yeah, thank you for the very interesting information. I was surprised to have so many managers, bursting that bubble of salary. Like out of your graph, it looks like you have about 8% of population are managers, right? If this is the one before.
Yeah, it's not so much surprising. What's important, there are all the people 7+ years. Yeah, so some guys are much longer in the field and they are really in managers or directors positions, and like 8 people of managers, like that's possible. I will be not surprised by it because the overall like if I imagine typical hierarchy, then there is couple people per team, and those leaders get really good salaries. Yeah, so not
and
so.
It's not just managers. It's even like designers. If you have some special skill set or or strong experience, then you are very valuable assets for many teams.
Yeah, and like really, like this is caused partially by the years of experience. So when you are experienced designer, specialist, manager, director, whatever, like then you end up in this bubble. The rest of distribution is pretty linear, like from bottom left corner to getting up right there. So the jump is here.
So basically, experience contributes more than the it looks like the experience contributes more than managerial position.
I don't think so. We can dig deeper into this later on. I think it could be visible through the dashboard as I linked at the beginning.
Get it. Thank you.
We can later take a look. Now this is the simplified slide about the taxes. I really try to make it simple. So if I'm not mistaken, like if you imagine that you are an employee, then everything under 75,000 euro per year got 15% of taxes, and anything what goes above this line got 23. It doesn't mean that once you hit this line, 75,000 of euro, you are instantly going to 23rd%. No, it's the way that the 15 is everything below the line, and 23% is only the portion of money which is above this line. So it's a little bit magic, but like basically, if you get lower salary, then you are on 15%. That's fine. If you go above that, then that extra portion of money got 23% of taxes on it. Plus, what Anna mentioned, there is social plus healthcare insurance. So overall, if I really simplify it, if you will be an employee with 2,000 euro brutto, then at the end you will get 1620 netto on your bank account. This doesn't count with anything like whatever children or wives or something like that. It's really simplified example. So you get an let's say vision how it works approximately. Anna, now you have a chance to correct me if I simplify too much. You can adjust it. This is the simplest math which I was able to put together.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe just a chip in from a Czech designer. Maybe like the effective rate, it will be more efficient to say that it's with the tax and social and healthcare things, it's about 30%. So really to be more realistic about the ballpark. I mean, all the time, I've been in Czech Republic for 4 years, and all the time it's around 30%, I would say. Yeah. So these numbers might be a little bit confusing because social and healthcare insurance are not very small. So just to have realistic expectations for everyone.
That was my try with those netto number, and yeah, it should be approximately 30% lower. So let's move on so we can get to more questions. I was trying to address your prepared questions. So what are the most wanted digital design disciplines? Basically, what I believe we already abandoned is some kind of generalist / unicorns approach. So most of the companies are looking for not generalist anymore, but some specialization like UX designer, researcher, visual designer, of course, some managers. To put it in a little bit of context, if some of you is closer to product owners, copywriters, project managers, those people are needed as well. So like, and this is like, let's say, typical structure of the team, product team. When you are in some company, you can expect that you will work with this kind of people. However, some companies, let's say smaller ones, usually look as well for some kind of combination UX UI when someone is able to think about the service design on one side and the visual aspect of it on the other hand. I really like the specialization is in place in Czech Republic, and we see that it goes this way with maturity of the whole market. Then the next question was about, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, May, what about product designers? While looking through LinkedIn, we've seen quite a lot opportunities for product designers.
Yeah, like it's, let's say, only other name for UX designers on one side. On the other hand, sometimes it's messy. Yeah? Like the whole language on the market, it's still messy because sometimes really UX designer almost equal to product designer. Sometimes product designer needs to have more product owner skills. Sometimes some companies by product designer call that combination of UX and UI. So unfortunately, I can't give you like a clean answer. You usually have to investigate each position a little bit more to figure out if it's really only about UX and you don't need any visual skills, or if it's that's combination, or if you need to be more, let's say, like design thinker and be more strategist and UXer to be able to become a product designer. Like guys, Jirka, if you have any comment on this, you can.
I guess you say totally right. I'll just add that especially in bigger teams and bigger companies, it doesn't really matter like what your special skill set is. We are not trying to put you in some specific role, but we want to use your skill set. So if you are able to design interactions and do research, you are welcome. If you are focused only on research, great, you will do only research, and so on and so on and so on. So it's really up to your skill set. And if you will see some job offer which is looking for some like specific role, don't hesitate to contact them, and so like try to negotiate and like communicate for a while about what they are actually expecting and what they are actually searching for.
Yeah, what we feel here on Czech market, there is pretty big hunger for new employees. So the companies are really willing to set up the position so you are able to fit in it. It really needs some kind of investigation first and then negotiation, as Jiří said. Yeah.
And also worth to mention, if you like some Czech company or Czech-based company and they don't have open position with your skill set, don't be afraid to call them anyway. Maybe your portfolio will like throw them away and they will hire you on the spot.
Got it. So basically, titles, it's good to read titles of positions, but fine text and negotiation mean more.
Well, if you will apply for UX researcher position, then definitely you should be more focused on research rather than design. I guess nobody will expect you to design. But if it's something related to designer, somebody expect the same thing from UX designer, UI designer, and product designer, and like it's very different from company to company and manager to manager. So try to investigate more. Maybe the only clue could be that if they are looking for visual or graphic designer, it's probably really somebody who is focused more on visual side. And if it's something connected with UX product and so on, it's probably something about interactions, but could be related with research or with visual design as well. It depends.
And speaking about research, there is really only a few on Czech market. So if you are a researcher, then you definitely are the most needed one at the moment. I'm not saying that we don't need designers. I'm only saying that the UX researchers are really on shortage now, and we strive for them.
Especially those who are able to do research internationally.
Alexei?
Like with language and tool set.
Would you like to add something?
No, I think so far I'm good.
Okay.
I have some comments later.
So, next question was about the education.
Yeah.
And the thing is that as for pretty long time there wasn't any like official education on Czech market, like from universities and so on. Like there is actually no specific need for education. However, when we take a look on a comparison of designers and researchers, you can clearly see that researchers are much more educated than designers. I mean, like on a master degree. However, like really, this is only an illustration that pretty a lot people even doesn't have any university degree, and really like companies are more looking for your, again, like as Irka said, skill set and some kind of portfolio, or basically proof that you are a practitioner over the diploma or anything like that. Of course, that some courses or certification could theoretically a little bit help you on one side. On the other hand, really like so far, so I know, and what I experience and what I know from other people, usually it's much more about the match with future teammates and about your approach to problem solving. Sometimes people got some kind of homework or test exercise, and those things are much more important to hiring managers and future teammates than if you get some degree or not. Yeah? So like it's like this. Yeah? So you don't need to be afraid that if you don't have whatever master degree in design, that you are out of game. It's definitely not this way.
Yeah, it is actually a very good point about the master's degree for researchers. As far as I remember, the advanced statistics is a part of master course in many universities, technical universities at least. And it is where they study such sociology and psychology, the advanced methods. So for researchers, I do believe it is a good point. And also, while talking with different countries, what we came to realize is that when the discipline is relatively new, you have less people with experience, therefore you are looking at diplomas. When people turn middle to senior position, it is when your experience and your portfolio talks for you. It's true for UX designers as well as for UX writers and for researchers. So, and as you mentioned, in Ukraine, it is the same. The researchers community is younger than designers community, therefore there is more expectation on diplomas for researchers, and it is a really good slide to talk about it.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Maybe
like,
Bob,
yeah.
Bob, there is a question in the chat.
Oh, sorry, I missed it.
Or maybe Tanya, if you can read it.
The question is, what are the private schools or online courses that are respected in Czechia? Like if you are looking for a job and you say that I studied at that particular design school, then you have a chance.
I don't think so. Like in general, people with some education from abroad got some advantage, but it's not necessary, let's say. And like there isn't anything like specific school which is like super exclusive on the market.
I would say that people with title from abroad has more attention rather than advantage.
Let's say it this way. Attention, let's say, because there isn't so many of them. On the other hand, it doesn't imply that they're so good. It's only like that they got that diploma from abroad or like something. So you again, like you don't basically, like if we can somehow summarize this, don't be afraid about your formal education. That's the main message. Yeah, like if you are a researcher, then it's good to have those psychology, sociology, and so on. It's of course advantage for you on one side. On the other hand, like even for researchers, I think it's not a like big portion of the deal.
Just for the context, to be honest, there wasn't many opportunities to get proper education in Czech lately. By the way, yesterday there was a UX Monday specialized on formal education of designers in Czech Republic. So there are a couple of tips on Czech universities, which just came with specialization and focus on UX design or like design in general. So I think we are now learning how to kind of handle formal education focused on design in Czech Republic. So we still pay more attention on like practical skills and some soft skills and ability to explain how you are thinking about things, how you are solving problems, rather than like formal education, because it's not proof that we can use your education, and it's not proof that you can be a valuable asset to our teams anyway.
Yeah, also on education side, there is a recent development that more and more people talk about, let's call it atomic education. So basically you can attend Coursera courses and get a they call it micro degree, if I remember, in so many fields of studies these days. And basically you don't need, in many cases, you don't need the university diploma, but you have to learn all your life, all your at least working life. So that makes you more relevant and helps you to collect new knowledge, absorb new knowledge and apply it to your work.
Thanks for that. I will add it to my LinkedIn. It explains my whole career a lot. It's full of micro degrees.
One more, I see that Alexei is smiling. He's the person who came to Czechia with a foreign degree. Probably he can share a bit about
so it was useless. In a nutshell, don't worry about the degree. Don't spend money on it. Mostly the people who want you to care about degree are those who are running the UX courses, companies, and so on. It's much better to have experience. And really, after, again, even if somebody looks at it, it's just the HR person or recruiter when they look at your CV for the first time. And even then, the question that was asked before about like what degrees I cared about, no, I think nobody cares. The only degree that comes up is there's a Copenhagen design. I forgot the name of the university, but there is like a design degree from one of the Copenhagen universities, which is kind of nice. But again, really nobody cares. So there are no such things as like Harvard Law School or Berkeley Music School. In design, don't worry about that. Find a job and get your experience and then sell your skills. Don't spend too much time or money on your degree, especially if you already graduate, if you are already a graduate from the university. If you are 17, that's a different conversation, but I presume you are not 18 or 17.
In other words, invest in education and invest in experiences rather than degree itself. It's not worthless, but it's not that important.
Okay, let's move on.
Thank you.
Next question was about language, and I think it's pretty simple, straightforward. We are all fluent in bad English. This is what Germans said in Berlin usually, and we are the same. As there is pretty a lot of big companies like Škoda Auto, MSD, which is American Merck, Avast, Microsoft, Workday, whatever. smaller but big, or smaller, like growing startups. All these companies are pretty international, despite the fact that some of them were founded in Czech Republic. They now behave as international companies. So basically working language is English. If you know a couple of words in Czech, of course, it's better for you. However, I think for the best advice for you is simpler to apply for such jobs where the English is the working language. Alexei?
Yeah, I just wanted to add, as a person familiar with Ukrainian design market or job market, basically, unlike in Ukraine, there are a lot of companies where the communication is only in English. So in Ukraine, in consultancies and software consultancies, you speak your own language in the office and you talk English to clients. In Prague, that is also like that, but also there are a lot of companies that are English first. So, for example, MSD and I guess many parts of Avast, even Czech people speak English. So everybody speaks English so that it's more inclusive, and because there is a large share, because of that shortage of workers and a lot of expat employees. Like in my company, I don't know, it's like 25% are foreigners, non-Czech. So basically the main working language is English, not Czech. So that is much more common in Czech Republic than it is in Ukraine. So you will be fine.
Honestly, Alexei, I think that in case of MSD, it's 50% plus are expats. So wow. It's really like the whole house once you are in the office. Of course, like those companies work remotely now pretty a lot, but like imagine that like more than half of people in the house are not Czechs, and so it really forms the culture heavily.
And by the way, I guess in all of those mentioned companies, you will definitely not be the only Ukrainian in the company. There will definitely be the base of Ukrainians, and we already have a very great experience with colleagues from Ukraine.
It's very nice to hear. And what about lunch conversations or beer conversations?
It's simple. Once there is someone who doesn't speak Czech, the company instantly switch into English. I mean, company like the people sitting next to each other, they really instantly switch into English. And sometimes like what's really happening here is that sometimes even the Czechs forget that the last English speaker left the room, and we keep going in English, and because like everyone is so much used to it now that it really works this way. And so really, like even the small talks and beers and things like this are happening in English. So
what about like settling down to go to the all administrative offices to get your documents ready?
Let me answer that one. Because I'm the one going to those offices. So I think it makes sense to learn a few Czech words or kind of think through and translate your request into Czech. Then you'll be actually treated nicely for being nice to them and speaking Czech. No, it's not like the Silicon Valley thing where everybody talks English in the, I don't know, tax office or immigration office. Of course, people speak Czech there. It's Czech. It's Czech Republic. So not everything is rainbow and unicorns, but people are nice to you if you're trying to be nice. You know, if you walk in and start talking to them English or God forbid Russian, you know what I'm talking about, and then you won't be treated nicely because you already started like that. If you try to speak Czech, if you're terrible at it, if you're really trying, then they will treat you nice. It's much better than the German. And about the beer conversations, again, not everything is rainbow unicorns. In Bob's company, in my company, everybody will talk English to you. in companies with a little bit more majority of Czech employees, yeah, especially during lunch, especially after beer, they might switch to Czech. But that's fine because you need to practice Czech, because you don't want to be like a Berlin expat where you can't learn German because nobody speaks German, where you work or where you hang out. So I'd say it's a more healthy proportion of Czech language here than of German in Berlin. But it's still nice.
And just to add to this, most of these like bigger international companies are treating their employees as nice as they can. So I don't know how it is like in exact companies, but especially in ours, we are from time to time going to those departments with our employees to help them to translate. And upon these beer conversations, we, or at least I think that especially people from Ukraine, we understand each other very good if we want to, and if we articulate and speak slowly. So especially our colleagues, I think they are just a bit shy to speak in Czech, but they are very able and capable to understand Czech and also speak in Czech, but they are just shy to join our conversation in Czech, even though their Czech is very well. So
Got it.
Yeah, and one more, as probably last comment to this, so far, so I know, like Czech government is really trying hard to become inclusive, and they are like trying to prepare the guidance and supportive materials for specifically Ukrainians, and I got some links at the end of presentation. So there is probably not perfect. I didn't went through it, but like there is some kind of support like this from officials as well. So we are not there yet. I think on one side. On the other hand, so far, so I know we are trying hard to really get it as easy as possible to onboard you to not only Czech country, but actually like the Czech working market or like work market.
But to sum it up, just count with English and count with it that we are not like native speakers as well. So we understand.
Thank you so much. And I remember the project you shared about the railway station when you did the navigation for Ukrainian people arriving in Prague. It is a great project, and it was done so nicely, you know. I was so delighted to see it.
Yeah. kudos to Jiří. And actually, like, this is extra chapter of like Czech relation between government and NGOs, and we can talk about it at the end, because like it's probably similar as in Ukraine, don't know, but it's the way that Czech government is capable of care of only some limited things. So about the rest, care the NGOs. Yeah? It's a really big topic. Anyway, as we are talking about the market, there were a couple of questions about the internal market and external one. The internal, my best guess is that at the moment there is approximately like 4,000 full-time employment positions in UX. However, it will be much bigger when we count all the part-time people or some people which are basically time to time involved in UX, but it shrinks down to this estimated number when we talk about the really like full-time employees. However, it's definitely not big. It's definitely not enough. It's maybe big on the size of our country. I don't think so, but like basically that's the number as you ask for it. Like I'm trying to provide it on one side. On the other hand, we know that there is much more opportunities. I know about one agency which is at the moment hiring approximately 20 new people. So and it's pretty small agency, but they got nice contracts. They are growing, so they are hiring. and they are instantly looking for 20 new employees, and it's pretty small agency, so it works really like this. Our two comments on this, as we already mentioned a couple times, most of the positions or like offers are located in Prague and Brno, those two cities. And as well, what's already pretty common because of COVID, it's the remote work. So what you can expect is that you will be hired by one of international company in those two cities, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to stay in that city. It's possible that you can arrange it the way that you will work remotely most of the time. Again, like it doesn't apply to all the companies which we listed. It's part of the setup. But for example, in case of Avast, we get like work from anywhere policy, and it basically means that once you are under this kind of contract, you can settle anywhere where we get some legal entity, not only in Czech Republic but around the world. There is a couple more countries where you can stay. So yeah, anything to add, guys, to this?
Maybe just a short note that those companies Bob mentioned in previous slides, there are just like the short shots, like they are just big companies who are searching for somebody all the time. And Czech Republic is also famous for very strong gaming industry, for example, or there are like literally thousands of small digital agencies and digital studios, so you don't have to focus like on big international companies at the first place. You can focus on whatever you like and whatever you are focused on and fits to your skill sets and your visions of your future role.
Why we list them here is because exactly what Jirka just said, like they're almost always hiring, and there is high probability that you can speak English in those companies. And like in case of those smaller studios, you always have to figure out if the owner of studio is able to talk to you in English or not. But again, like I think that even those guys will adapt pretty soon, as they always need some more people. So I think it's worth it to switch in English and have some with good skill set, someone with good skill set.
Sorry, on this note, also something that we noticed looking through different countries is that actually globally UX market grows. There are more and more opportunities for in digital area for everyone. And like in the Netherlands, the country is relatively small, but it has, at the moment I was looking, 1,400 open positions in a month. If you compare to, for example, Czechia, we have discovered 400 open positions here in a month. And it is something that we see that with time, all countries need more and more UX designers. And also something that we start to anticipate is that there will be more and more people switching to UX design. And here in Ukraine, we are trying to create more education opportunities for people who want to enter the design discipline. What is your vision? I believe that like with UX Association, you also do, like UX Mondays are great, but do you also try to consolidate or to think of any education in the future? Or if this question is far-fetched, just stop me.
I'm sorry, I have troubles with connection. Don't sure if it's on your side, on my side. Can you hear me now? Okay. So far I understand that you were asking about the education stuff, like the how
I see. The question was, we see that market grows, and there are more and more people enter design. And we want to help those people to get up to speed faster.
Yeah, the thing is that we as community, we are trying to help them by those whatever smaller events like UX Monday where they can learn some new stuff. However, it's what we know from community that we are pretty good in networking, and like we are basically connecting the people, the junior ones with the senior ones, and that's one of our, let's say, advantage, that the community in Czech Republic is pretty compact like this. So really, once you are in, you are able to connect with almost anyone, and people are really open and are able to point you to the right person. However, as association itself, we are not providing any courses. There are some courses on commercial market, which are provided by Czechs to Czechs. And as well as Jirka said before, like there is growing amount of courses and subjects on universities. So the association is mostly working as connector, and we got like supportive role in this. However, we don't run any own courses. What we are trying is basically to spread the good knowledge and best practices through those different events. So that's like in nutshell description how it works, how it behaves. I like to add one more thing, however I forgot it. So sorry, Alexei, any note or?
No, so far I'm good. And
sorry, like I heard some noise and I wasn't sure what was it. Then there was one more question about the market, like how big is the external market, and I'm not sure if I understand properly if it was really about like the production for the whole world. It's pretty simple, like all the companies which we put on shortlist, and like it's definitely not like full list. Like those are only examples. Most of them work for the global market. Yeah? So those are not the companies which produce only for Czech Republic. There is one big exception, which is Seznam.cz, which is something like Czech Yahoo. That's like Czech company for Czech market. However, those other big ones are really producing stuff from Czech Republic, but not for the Czech Republic. We are basically developing the stuff for the global market. So the external market is really huge, and we are these are a couple of useful links at the very end. What I put here are some basic instructions from our Ministry of Interior Affairs. Then there is new and at the moment only for Android application for, like they call it, smart migration. Maybe it could be useful for some of you. And a little bit of advertisement. You are more than welcome to visit our Web Expo conference, which is at the beginning of June in beautiful Lucerna Palace in Prague. And they got that extra offer of 50 tickets for which you can apply and visit us here. And I think I think this is very last slide from my side. So now we can discuss some more questions if you have, or if it was so exhausting, we can close it. It's totally up to you. We are here for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all the information and like a gazillion of useful links. It was very interesting to discuss. The specifics of a market. What I see is that out of all countries we talked to, Czechia is one of the closest in terms of culture and in terms of expectations to Ukraine. We are close neighbors, so it is something you may assume, but it is not that obvious. Yeah, Anna, probably you have some questions.
I don't, but I'm very thankful for the presentation and for information that you shared. Because that's very detailed and very well organized. And I think it would be very helpful for someone from Ukraine who is actually looking for a job in Czechia.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I can add a few more things after the official part is over. Kind of reality check for Czech market through the eyes of a former, a Ukrainian, but a former Ukrainian resident.
Maybe I can add some more information to official part. Just one reminder: don't be afraid to join our Slack community and join our jobs channel. You can ask us there for anything. We would be glad to help you. Also, you can reach us anytime through Anna or Tanya, and if you will have some specific questions or don't hesitate to reach us. And by the way, as Bob mentioned, our NGO community, we prepared a website called privit.cz, where are the most of useful links for Ukrainians in Czech Republic. So you can go there and you can find most of useful information you will need if you will consider to move to Czech Republic, or you will need to pass some useful information for somebody who will be in need in Czech Republic.
If you can add this link to the end of the presentation, it could be great. At the very last slide.
If you don't mind, we will share this presentation later.
Sure. Ready to share. I actually, for example, I don't put the simple link here for the Slack because behind this blue text is a little bit more complicated link which has hashtag in it, so it really work instantly as invitation, right? Because as you know, Slack needs some kind of invitation, so that's the reason why it's not possible simply write down uxcz.slack.com. However, here behind this text there is the right link which instantly invites you in. That's the magic. And so once you share this presentation with others, you can come to this slide, click on it, and you will be instantly invited. That's the magic.
Thank you. Alexei wanted to say something.
Would it be okay if I share a link to this presentation in comments to the video on YouTube?
I think so. It should be accessible. However, maybe we can prepare the link without editor rights. Stable version. Yeah. So it could be better to provide it after.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Or I can do it now, but I need to stop sharing for this.
Just wanted to add a couple more words about the taxation and salaries from Ukrainian point of view. So first of all, realistically, it's about 30% of everything combined. So if you take a brutto salary and subtract 30%, you will get approximately your netto salary. Then another thing, there was this kind of unusual question about, vague question about the getting paid on Ukrainian entrepreneur account. So understand this: if you are a tax resident of Ukraine and you want to work in a Czech company, then it's зовнішньоекономічна діяльність. So basically, it's not a question to Czech Republic is a question to Ukrainian tax rules. If you are moving to Czech Republic and become a tax resident in Czech Republic, then you follow the Czech tax code. And there is an agreement between Ukraine and Czech Republic about avoiding the double taxation. So basically, there is a clear thing. You state either to Ukraine, there are some rules, but basically it's very clear. You decide what kind of tax resident you want to be, Czech or Ukrainian. And this, based on that, you talk to your accountant and solve things. So everything is possible, but not everything is likely. So in Czech Republic, you are more likely to be a permanent employee with employment, like with an efficient employment and all the labor code rights, which is actually good. And I'd say I'd recommend that as a priority. Or you can be a contractor, but unlike in Ukraine, if you are a contractor, you are paying for the social services. So basically, in Ukraine, it's very nice. You are a contractor, but you also get everything else the full employees get for free. In Czech Republic, it's a little bit more just. If you're a contractor, then you are paying for healthcare more, and you pay some other social taxes and so on. So you get less
benefits.
benefits from the labor code. And if you are a permanent employee, then you have all the EU unified labor code rights with the sick leaves and other things. So it's a little bit more, the line is a little bit more clear between those. But in some companies, if they have kind of a hiring freeze or some limited opportunity for hiring, yeah, they hire contracts, kind of similar to Ukrainian POP, but you basically you get all the benefits of the contractor, but also the downsides. So you have to pay for other things from your own pocket. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it about the taxation, about the Czech market, job market in general for UX designers. I think in a nutshell, it's much more mature. So all those small things Bob mentioned and Jiří mentioned that they look more at the capabilities of designers instead of trying to this Procrustean bed of like shoehorning a designer into the kind of synthetic position they invented, kind of like a unicorn. We need the unicorns for everything. So it's a little bit more mature. So here employers look more a little bit about into culture fit, personality, but it's because unless it's some agency, they are hiring more for like long-term employment. So they want for team to work properly together as a team. While in Ukraine, in software consultancies, of course, you need to hire someone very quickly because you need to fill in the billable position for whoever you're working for. So in a nutshell, it's a little bit more mature job market for designers, and it's clearly visible from the fact that there are more design executives, more design leaders with like higher positions in the company, and there are user researchers needed more. So it means there is user research, there are dedicated user research roles, and so on. So that's just maybe a few things from like to show what stands out or kind of is different in the Czech market compared to Ukrainian market. I think that the most of the changes are for the better. So I guess it's definitely like a nicer job market to be in, especially with a super low unemployment rate. So there is a high demand for professionals and their value.
Got it. Thank you so much, and thank you for the honest overview. Like you said, without unicorns and rainbows, right? Yeah, it's. I really appreciate it. With all of you together, we have a good three-dimensional view on the market and of opportunities. I do really appreciate all your time, and yeah, I do believe that the maturity of Ukrainian market grows, as well as the soft skills and the personality fit. They are valuable more and more in many companies. And yeah, we all grow together because of collaboration, because of knowledge sharing, because like I remember first time I met Yuri, it was, I believe, in Berlin, or in like more than 7 years ago. And it was a hub where all people from Europe came together to share knowledge, best practices, went home to bring up the design communities. And I'm so happy that today we have our conversation, and I hope we will have even more. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. You know, you made a tremendous effort to put all the information all together and share with us. And I believe that it's going to be very well appreciated by Ukrainian design community. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to keep our collaboration and like this connection that we built today between Prague design community and Ukrainian design community. And looking forward to further projects, meetups, conferences, maybe.
Okay, you're welcome, definitely. And wrap it up, like really, don't be worried. Give it a try. Take a look on Czech Market. Maybe there will be something interesting for you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us. I hope you'll join Web Expo conference in Prague. Hope we will see each other probably in Berlin on UX Europe or in UX Vienna. We'll see. And don't hesitate to ask for any help if you will need some on our Czechs UX Slack channel, and we will be glad to help you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.